Hello, this is Jesse Million speaking, and for this episode of comparing Goosebump books with the episode, I'll be doing a double feature based on the amount of content I had for the next two books, based on two episodes. And I'll start with the first one, Night of the Living Dummy 2, which, like Return of the Mummy, is actually just a sequel episode based on the sequel book, but with no prequel episode, which is a weird thing if you try to ask anybody about it. Probably among the decision among the producers, whatnot. Anyway, we should get started. The story goes that, let's see, there was Amy, who was a middle child of her family, who has an older sister and a younger brother, and they're all pretty talented. But when Amy's dummy Dennis was falling apart, she felt distraught until her dad brings home a new dummy, which is, you might guessed it, it's Slappy. And when Amy reads the magic words in her words that bring Slappy to life from his shirt pocket, things begin to get weird. Slappy caused a lot of trouble, making Amy the victim, by making her to blame for all the accidents and pranks. And one night, she was able to prove to her family that Slappy is alive, which is saved by mysterious and was saved by a mystery rescuer. You know, Amy thought her brother Jed saved the day. And without further ado, let's begin with the differences in trivia. Number one, the actions of Slappy are different slightly between the book and television, such as Slappy trying to hit her dad with his own guitar. Number two, in the book, Amy and her sister Sarah made a plan to beat Slappy and to prove that Amy's innocent by creating a set where Slappy is sure to appear while her parents are in the closet and Jed dresses up as Dennis. And number three, the mystery hero who breaks Slappy is actually Dennis, in which by the end he gives his response to why he did it, and in a goofy sort of saying, "It's good to be back in the family again," meaning to say that he just defeated Slappy so that he can just be part of the family again, which is rather nice, though would have spooked the family anyway. And number four, Slappy reveals the meaning of the magic words that bring him to life, which means you and I are one now. And that's it for this story. And now, for the second story, Say Cheese and Die. In this story, a boy named Greg and his friends has visited a residence of a homeless man named Spy who's like a weird sort of guy with goggles on his eyes. And they visited his residence. They found a special kind of camera in a hidden compartment, which they took it for themselves. But the camera has a catch to it. Every time it takes a picture, it predicts the future. The bad news is, the future is a pretty grim one. which which includes Greg's family's new car gets wrecked. His friend Sherry disappeared, turned invisible. Like a lot of weird things happened. He even dreams that his family were all turned to skeletons with one flash of the camera. So when Greg and Sherry decided to return the camera, they did try to return it, but Spidey was there. It revealed that that he invented this camera, and but it was like an experiment gone wrong, and he tried to keep them prison. He tried to keep Greg and Sherry prisoner for knowing too much. But then they were able to snap a picture of Spidey and to beat him, and they managed to just get away. And that's the story. And now for the main story. The differences. First, Greg takes only 4 pictures in the show. But in the book, he took a lot more pictures than that. Number 2, Greg's nightmare, like I said, was only mentioned in a book, but it was put in the show, which is actually a last-minute decision by R.L. Stein to do something to commemorate with one of the best cover arts out of all the Goosebumps books, like a whole family turned into a skeleton in a photograph. Number 3, the camera's design is different. In the book, it's a polarized camera, but feels more heavy. In the show, it looks futuristic, but the end results are the same. And where the camera's found, well, aside from the hidden compartment, was different. In the book, Spidey lived what appears to be a haunted house. But in the show, it was like an old factory or workshop or something. And of course, Spidey's defeat is different. In the book, it's like he died when his picture was taken. It's like he died from fright. But in the episode, he was like sucked into the camera. Which leads into the twist ending, which is different, where 2 of the bullies who tried to steal the camera try to take a picture when they'll learn the hard way about the truth behind the camera and release Spidey. And last but not least, for the only piece of trivia I can find in this episode, Spidey's hideout was found around the Distillery District in Toronto. And that's it for this episode, for which I will surely you'll get better next time. And until then, this is Justin Williams signing off, and I bid you a scary day, everyone. See ya.